Hello, everybody, and welcome to the only single-player podcast for February 23rd, 2015. We missed a few, but we're back. So, hello. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
This is where you say hi. I know, we haven't done this in a while, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Or Rusty.
I'm here.
So, I'm Justin Westinger, joined with me, Shauna Beeston, Reagan Cox, podcast crew. You've heard us before, I'm sure. Fun fact, these don't get recorded the day they go live. I don't know if you guys know that. I figured I might as well say it because today, which is the 22nd, the day before this goes live, is Only SP's birthday, February 22nd. So happy birthday. If I had like a blowhorn or something, I would blow it right now.
Yeah, I don't have confetti.
Where do I don't have anything on my...
I think I have a Vuvuzela somewhere.
I had some like those little like things you blow in, not a blowhorn, but the little whatever. Happy birthday! Get some cake if you have some cake. Enjoy it for yourself. Everybody loves cake, except it's a lie. So don't. You know,
I have
whatever.
I have mayonnaise cake in my fridge.
That sounds
what?
disgusting.
No,
What's
you
that
don't.
even?
You don't even know.
What's mayonnaise
You
cake?
don't even know. Instead of eggs and milk, it's mayonnaise. No.
Well,
it's the-
okay. Granted, egg or mayonnaise is a substitute for eggs.
Yeah. It's the best thing you'll ever
That's
taste.
actually true.
I promise. It's delicious.
sounds
It's just
disgusting.
like
I don't
really...
like icing, so I'll
Right, you don't eat
cake,
it with
but-
icing. That's the best part.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's just really moist chocolate cake, and you just cut up the little squares and eat it. It's good.
I like this no icing thing.
Well,
Yeah.
if these mayonnaise no icing cakes are your thing, you can have that too. It's
They
a birthday
are.
celebration.
They should be your thing.
Enjoy what you like to enjoy, and it is OSP is now 3 years old, and we have just entered the fourth
One more time.
year of doing what we do.
Is it
And,
really 4? I thought it was 3.
Well, we're 3 years now, but we're going into our fourth.
Oh,
year.
yeah.
So
right.
yeah,
That was stupid of me to say. out
math
loud.
is hard sometimes. I understand.
Math is not
But,
my strong suit.
It's kind of weird. I wish I was not as well. If, like for us, we haven't been here, but for like 2 months, you know.
Yeah.
So like, it's just like whoa, big whoop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Right.
Whoop,
No, I get
whoop,
it. I
big
get it.
whoop. Exactly, a big whoop. But we haven't been here too long. But it's still something we can celebrate. We can be proud of ourselves for contributing to something awesome. And we really want to thank you guys that are watching us, and even if you don't watch us, and I guess you wouldn't hear it if you don't watch us. But thank you for reading the content, at least on the site. The site always has lots of stuff. It's weird for me because I only do the stuff on YouTube, so it's like that's my life with Only SP is the YouTube stuff. But like I sort of forget that we're a news site, and that's like the focus basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of silly, I guess, but even if this is your first time checking us out, check out our site and see everything. We are awesome, so it's pretty much
Yeah.
pretty much awesome. And it's a podcast. This is a podcast. So happy birthday, OASP. I mean, we'll say the same thing again next year.
Yeah.
There's not much like birthdays for me. I'm not a big. I don't care. It's
Me
just
neither.
it's just another year. I mean, I care, but I mean, it's it's whatever. So let's talk about games. What have you guys played recently? Go.
I've been playing American McGee's Alice.
Woo!
I like that game.
What
It's
is
such a
that
good
even?
game.
It's kind of a pain in the ass though, but I like it.
Yes.
I don't do well with 3D platformers for the most part. Like I have trouble judging where I am.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's like all that is, and in puzzle form, which makes it
I
worse.
know, which makes it worse. And if you fall, you pretty much die or have to like redo a whole.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm gonna say is thank God for quick saves, because I would not be able to finish that game without those.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself because I've been playing a lot of games lately.
Yeah.
Well, I guess and not doing a lot of other things, so whatever. But when
You take some, you lose some.
yeah, it's a win lose. But when Evolve came out, I was like, this multiplayer hype. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up. and I'm gonna find some of these awesome single player games that I love. And I started with some Skyrim because I'm still working on my modded Skyrim playthrough on PC. I've actually beaten the main story now. I'm working on some of the DLCs, and I'm not done with like the Mages Guild or any of that crap. But I've actually never beaten the Dragonborn DLC. I played Skyrim so much, but I've never beaten that DLC. So I'm excited to actually do the DLC for the Skyrim. So I started with Skyrim, and then I picked up Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings. I had never played Witcher 2. I played the first one, and I know they're very different.
That makes no sense. Most people played the second one and had never even heard of the first one.
It's a Mass Effect syndrome. It's the same thing with Mass
So
Effect.
the third one's coming out, and you just now started playing the second one.
I just now, it's just like...
Shame on you.
It is shame on me, because I didn't realize how much was missing from my life after... before playing this game. So I played Witcher 2. I fell in love with it. And then I played it again, like, the day after I beat it the first time. And then now I'm on my third or fourth playthrough of it currently. So like
making up for lost time.
I pretty much haven't put it down in the past week.
It's a really good game.
It's such a good game. Like, yeah. I had a friend of mine picked it up the same day as me, and I didn't realize. So I was like playing, and then it's like, "Hey, how do you do this one thing?" I was like, "What? Are you playing Witcher right now?"
That's funny.
It's like, invite me to a party. And I got to it. I was a bit ahead of him, so I got to a point where there's a big decision that needs to be made. And I was like, "Yeah, there's a big decision coming up." And I picked this guy, and then I told him, "You should pick the other guy." And he did pick the other guy, and then we convened the next day when we'd both beaten the game. It was like, "Hey, and how was your game like?" So we talked about for like an hour about how different our games were, just from like the choices we made. That one choice,
yeah.
Because that game does a really good job. Like, the game's like completely different if you do one thing instead of another one. Like, it can be that different, and it just made me even more excited for Witcher 3 because I can't even imagine for that game.
Did you hear about how they're doing transferring your choices over?
Yeah, you can transfer on PC, but for Xbox One and PS4, they have simulated world states.
Yeah.
So it seems, where it's basically, I guess, sort of like how Mass Effect did with, I forget, Genesis or whatever, where you just get presented questions and then you pick the answers to what you did, and then it'll load the proper save state. And they also, I think there's like a default whatever for people that are new to the series in Witcher 3.
Yeah, there is. Well, because what it is it's a character who's a bard of sorts. They haven't specifically said who, but it's probably Lyrian. Or Lyrian. What the fuck am I talking about?
You mean Dandelion? It's probably Dandelion.
Yeah, Dandelion. Lyrian. What's that even?
I don't even.
I don't know.
Yeah. They said it'd be like it'd be in conversation.
Yeah, and then he sings a song about what you did at the end. And so I'm guessing if you didn't play the other games, you just don't talk to him.
Yeah, but I like that too, because instead of it just like a menu at the beginning of the game, it's more like it's part of the story, so it's even more immersive. Which is awesome, which is what they wanted.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely excited for that.
Did they officially confirm whether or not they're doing the hardcore mode?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're doing it?
There's dark and insane. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm slowly going up the difficulties on Witcher 2. I started on normal, but in the prologue I got my ass whooped. Yeah. And so I switched to easy. And then on my second play was normal, and it was rough. It's rough.
I like that game. It's a really hard game. And then go ahead.
Oh, I like it a lot because the combat is not like you can't just go in hacking and slashing and shooting and do whatever. Yeah. It's very methodical. Like you have to
prepare.
You have to prepare, and that's what I like a lot. You have to make sure you got the right, sword enhancements, the right armor on, the right potions, drink and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've fallen in love. Like we're getting married like next week.
It's a pretty good game.
Me and Geralt, we're getting married.
I mean, whatever floats your boat. He's a pretty attractive man, but what was I going to say? Oh yeah, for those who are not aware, the hardest difficulty of The Witcher 3 will delete your save file when you die.
Yep.
So that'll be a joy.
God, it's like ever since
multiple saves.
Ever since I've been playing Witcher 2, I've been hardcore just watching all the gameplay videos and crap like that for Witcher 3.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like I can't, like, the more I hear about The Witcher 3, it's more like I just literally cannot believe how good it's going to be.
Yeah. I try not to know anything about games going into it.
I do too.
Which
like,
means
that's what
I
I
picked
prefer.
the wrong fucking career path. But
That's
I mean, like Dark Souls, I put like 1,000 hours into Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls too. I have seen one trailer of Bloodborne. That's it.
That's how I was for Dragon Age, because I played Dragon Age Origins. I was
Yeah.
in love with Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah.
Dragon Age 2, I was a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't care about Inquisition. But man, am I glad that I didn't, overhype, because now it's even a super awesome, better game than I could have imagined, Inquisition.
Yeah.
And I still haven't played that either, but
I haven't played it because I don't care. It's just there. It's a thing that
that's fine.
happened that I'm tangentially interested in, but I'm not gonna put effort into playing it.
I mean, I have to play it. Like, I have to.
Oh yeah.
Like, I get smited from above if I don't.
Gotcha.
But one day I'll play that. But right now, with the Witcher's on the mind, like Witcher 3, you got the whole continent's open world, no loading screens, all open world. There's a jump button.
Oh my god, no, you don't understand
There's a jump
how
button.
excited I am about that.
Characters from the Witcher 1's back, like Vesemir and stuff. It's just like it just the more I hear about the game, it just seems too good to be true. So
And another promising thing is they have been working on this for years. So it's not like they're just slapping it all together and releasing it.
It was delayed to May just so they could polish it more. Like, it was done.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, it was done like in December, November. Like all the story, all the locations done. They pushed it to May just to polish it and fix all the bugs and stuff like that.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's pretty cool,
Thank
then.
God.
Yeah, that's
At least
cool.
it's not The Last Guardian, which is just gonna be in development for 2 decades. I mean, the thing is, at this point, if it isn't the greatest game ever created, it's not gonna live up to anybody's expectations. So they should probably just give up.
Just release it and just like, here it is.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
mean, I love Team Ico, but come on, it's not gonna be as good as people are expecting it to be now. It's literally been in development for 10 years, a decade.
I
for
mean,
one game.
It'll happen.
They're perfectionists.
Yeah, I mean, they want to get it right.
Yeah, but it also only
And I
took
mean,
them,
the graphics change yearly. Everything changes yearly. They're probably just trying to keep it up to, I don't know.
Yeah, but it only took them 2 years to make Shadow of the Colossus, and that game's a masterpiece, so I don't know about
That's
10
also-
years.
Probably an accident.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Ueda's pretty cool. I like him.
But yeah, like so with basically when Evolve came out, I started doing a bunch of RPGs, and I started replaying Saints Row too, just for funsies, because it's Saints Row. Like, come on. And I've forgotten how fun Saints Row 3 was. Like,
I was about to say, Saints Row 3 is my jam.
I played Saints Row 3 with a friend the first time through, and I like texted him the other day when I was playing. I was like, hey, you remember how freaking fun this game was? And because it's a blast. So I've been doing a bunch of RPG games, and I still plan to do it, and I'm still playing Witcher a lot. So that's what I've been playing. Shauna, what have you been up to?
I've been catching up on Homeworld.
Is it the remastered?
The remastered. I am doing a review on it before the 10th. And I've never played Homeworld before, and I've been scolded so many times by an online friend who friggin' loves the old games.
Is good.
And I'm doing the remastered before I go back to the classics, and I'm reading up on it now. I played several hours. I got really addicted to it. And then I went back to read what people think about the remastered, and there's a lot of hate about
Yeah, I was about
like,
to say.
how
A lot of people don't consider it a remaster.
they're
Really?
not
I
understanding
thought
what
people liked it.
remastered is.
I
Because
thought
people
Yeah,
are
it's just-
people want a remake. They don't want a remaster. They want the remake. They think it's a remake. They want the ships to look different. They want the whole atmosphere to be different.
Yeah.
They want the controls to be different. And I'm like, no, this is a remaster. That means they're just making it look a little better.
I
That's
don't
all.
care. I just want it to run on my Windows 7 PC. That's what I'm asking for. I don't want to have to use fucking DOSBox. Please, thank you. That's all I want.
So it's getting a bunch of hate, and I'm like, it's a great game. There's nothing that they couldn't do to make it better except graphically, and that's what they're doing.
Is it good though?
I mean,
It is.
awesome.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
gonna
not
buy
my
it.
type of game. Let me.
Because I love the original Homeworld, but I hate
Oh, yeah, I do
Gearbox
too.
with a fiery
This one's
passion.
I love
it's-
Gearbox. Oh, right. We have to have that conversation. I love Gearbox.
I don't. Okay, so for me, I don't like Borderlands. So this is their release history: Borderlands, Duke Nukem Forever, Borderlands 2.
wait,
Alien
you didn't like
Colonial
Duke
Marines.
Nukem?
I'm like, okay, I'm just not. I'm
Duke
just gonna stay away
Nukem
from
Game
you
of the
guys.
Year every year.
Huh?
Duke Nukem Game of the Year.
Oh,
All years.
all
A,
years.
All
a funny
years.
story about Duke Nukem. I played a PC game on the floppy disk, right? I'm old.
Yeah.
And it was like one of my first floppy disk games. And it was about this guy with like blonde hair, very pixelated, and you could shoot chicken to make it like big chicken and eat it, and then shoot these things. For like 10 years, I've been trying to figure out what this game was, right? Because I was really little, could not figure it out. And I've been like Googling, giving keywords, 10 years, could not find it. I had a friend who is a big Duke Nukem fan. He does the voice perfectly.
Oh, that's funny.
He was like, "Are you sure it's not the first Duke Nukem?" I'm like, "No, I don't like Duke Nukem. I don't know, it's not." And he typed it in, and sure enough, it was Duke Nukem. I was like, "No!" But now I totally have it. It's on Steam. I totally bought it the same day I figured it out.
Oh, the old platformer one's on Steam too.
Yeah, the very, very first
That's cool. I didn't know
Duke
that.
Nukem is on Steam.
I think they put Commander Keen on Steam too recently.
Oh my god.
Yeah, those games
Brilliant.
are awesome.
I've also been
we've
playing...
just dated ourselves so hard.
We did. But I'm not going to mention anything more about
Yeah.
my age. I've also been playing Pokemon, the Alpha Sapphire, and I've been resetting it, trying to get a shiny starter. So that's been my week.
See, I've never been able to like. I want to. I see all these people who like know all the secret stats and all the like how to breed. I'm like, I want that, but I just I can't. I've never like actually done it.
It's a lot of numbers that I don't like. So as far as stats are concerned, I really don't care. I just want a pink Mudkip. Why is it so hard to get a pink Mudkip?
Oh, is that what the shiny is?
Yeah, it's a pink. That's all I want.
See, like, I'm terrible at math, but I love... This makes zero sense. I'm terrible at math, but I love, like, really in-depth numbers and stuff in games.
I'm the same way. I
I don't
am the
know
exact
why,
same way.
but,
And
yeah.
I will never be that person that I see in my head that just knows what they're doing when it comes to things like that in the game.
Yeah,
But
I'm that
I
way
want
with
it.
very few games. CSGO and Dark Souls are pretty much... Speaking of, Justin, are you still playing CSGO?
Sorta.
Yeah, what rank are you at now?
I'm still in the... Well, I haven't really played.
Oh, okay. I just got
Answer
to Distinguished Master Guardian, so I'm pretty happy with that.
I still have plans to... I've been playing more Smite.
Uh-huh.
Because I wanted to get Smite and CSGO to be good. I want to get good at them, right?
Yeah.
But, it's just... like I said, I've been playing RPGs. I haven't really been feeling multiplayer-esque, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and as far as CSGO goes, you really have to dedicate yourself to it. It's not an easy game. You have to
you definitely
practice
have
a
to,
lot.
Yeah, we gotta keep playing. But I mean, I feel like... I don't know, I don't know. Like, those kinds of games I'm, like, really bad at. Like, MOBAs and, like, PC shooters, I'm just not good at them.
Really?
But I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, to practice your, like... The best way to practice your aim in Counter-Strike is to just join a deathmatch server online and just go for headshots. And don't worry about how many times you die. People are going to spawn behind you and shoot you and a bunch of stupid stuff like that. Don't worry about it. Just run around and try and get headshots and just do that for, like, 2 hours every day. You'll get pretty good pretty fast.
So, let's talk about Evolve. Evolve came out recently. Anyone played it? No? I haven't played it either. I want to play it, but I just, I didn't.
It's a
whole
$60.
A whole $60.
Yeah.
Which I think, I don't know. The price of games can be another discussion. I really disagree with the price of games.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather play a 10-year-old game that's far better than anything that's come out recently for $10 than buy a game I don't like for $60. So
yeah, I think the price, the like AAA price for most.
Yeah. Well, and plus when you look at like how much DLC Evolve launched with, they're like to get Evolve and all the DLC, it would be like $500.
It's like
for like the same experience. Like,
yeah.
It's just the same kind of game you're gonna be playing every time.
Yeah.
Like
have you done the math of like how much it would cost to buy a Sims game and all of its expansions?
No, that's.
Let me tell you. Okay, no, wait. My mother.
I love how this is starting. I'm sorry.
My mother. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, Sims was released for the personal computer. I had no knowledge of it, but within, I don't know, a week of it releasing, whenever it released, it was all over my computer. Like I was young and we had like a shared computer, my family, and I was like, "What is this Sims game?" And Mom was telling me about it, and because she was playing the heck out of it, it was just like out of nowhere. And so I played Sims a little bit. Whenever later, Sims 2 came out. We got it, and I played a lot. Like for me, I just built crap in Sims. Like in build mode, I just built crap. It's like Minecraft for me. But Mom was way into it. And then they did like they have expansions and crap for Sims.
Mm-hmm.
We had all of them. Literally all of them for Sims 2.
Dude,
every
you could
single
fill
one.
a bookshelf with those.
Yes, and we had to buy. It was all hard copy because there was digital distribution back then. So it was like, what are you gonna get your mom for Christmas this year, Justin? It's like probably the Sims expansion.
Well, that makes it easy at least.
So yeah, and eventually Sims 3 came out, and what she does now, she has like spreadsheets and stuff of all of the Sims stuff.
Are you serious?
And, like, I'm serious, and like. We've been through a few computers in our lifetimes, so we'd lose a computer and then she'd lose all her progress. She'd just start over.
Yeah,
and it'd be like right there in like a day. So like I don't even know. I don't watch her play Sims, but she plays Sims way too much, and she doesn't want Sims 4 just because she's like done. It's like I don't. She's like I don't want to play Sims anymore, and then she goes and plays some Sims.
See, I don't have any like any stories of like, oh, this person in my family doesn't like games, but they played this, because all of my family are either like hardcore into games or don't play games at all. Like my grandmother on my dad's side was the one who introduced me to first-person shooters.
Nice.
So yeah, they're either like way into games or not into games at all.
My grandmother. I wasn't really into like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh when I was little.
Yeah.
I played those games and so I had like a Game Boy Color and I was playing like Pokemon Yellow and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And my grandmother got interested in it, and before I knew it, she and I both had Game Boy Advances. She had her own Game Boy Advance, and I had my own Game Boy Advance, and we had Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal.
Oh, that's adorable.
I think she had Silver and I had Gold, and I think I played Crystal. And then we had my favorite generation was the third one. So I had Ruby, she had Sapphire, and then we both got Emerald eventually.
Yeah.
My grandmother, like as much as my mother plays Sims, my grandmother played Pokemon on handheld consoles.
That's funny.
10 times as much. Like all of her Pokemon were level 100, all of them, and she would like fill out the whole Pokédex, and then like so like. If you see her, like, if you're familiar with Pokemon, there's, like, you can store them in the PC and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The way the PC was set up was numerical in order by they are in the Pokédex. So, like, the first page of the PC would be, like, the first, like, 30 or so Pokemon in the Pokédex.
Yeah.
So, like, when it came to, like, Pearl and Sapphire, it was the last ones we played. And we kept, exporting from the other games. So many Pokemon... all level 100 or high enough. I'm just like, damn, Grandma.
That's really funny. Okay, I take it back. I just remembered a really good story. So my grandfather on my dad's side was one of the people who was not into games at all. He's never played a video game in his life. He's retired. He used to be an oral surgeon, so he's very, very wealthy. So I was visiting them in Florida for Christmas, and he'd been having issues with his internet, and he talked to me about like helping him fix it. So he's like, "Hey, can you come over and help me with something?" So I was like, "Oh, he's gonna want me to fix his internet or whatever." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there in a bit." So I go there. I walk in. There's a PS4 sitting on the couch with like 8 games. He's like, "Do you know how to hook one of these up?" I was like,
Nice.
yeah. So he just bought a PS4 and like 8 games just because he kind of felt like it.
That's badass.
But yeah, so now apparently my 2-year-old stepsister plays with him, and they play Rayman Origins. And in Rayman Origins, there are these platforms that you have to hold for the other people, like hold it out so they can jump on it. And whenever my grandpa pisses her off, she'll throw the platform so he falls down. It's really... I haven't
troll.
actually seen it because I haven't been there since they started playing, but he's going to film it and send it to me.
Oh my
That's cool.
goodness.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Anyway, what were we talking about? Evolve?
I don't even know anymore. I think so.
Evolve came out, and a lot of people playing it. We haven't played it, so we can't share our experiences. But from what I've heard, it's basically like, unless like you and 4 other friends are playing it, if it's just like you and another friend, then it's going to be one kind of a struggle. It's going to be kind of tough, just because probably lack of communication when playing with strangers. And 2, it's going to be not so fun because it's seemingly the same experience over and over and over. And plus, Evolve has got this whole DLC debacle everybody's upset with, but it's nothing new, so people are just getting mad over the same thing again. I still want
Right.
to play it, though.
So I think what we need to take from this is that just getting mad about it isn't working. So we get Molotov cocktails, and we take
Put them
a
in
trip
catapults.
to, I don't know, Massachusetts, wherever the hell.
I
Turtle
heard that
Rock
it's
is.
really short gameplay wise, as long as like if you're doing just the campaign.
Oh, I haven't heard.
I heard
anything about the campaign.
I heard the campaign's super hard because the AI is like really good. That's what a friend of mine was telling me, that he was having didn't want to play the single player because it was like the AI is like way too good. Like he got wrecked. It might just be that he's really bad, but I don't know.
Interesting.
I can't judge. I haven't played, but
Oh, I could be
mean-
wrong. I don't know about that, but if it is a short campaign, like I don't understand why it would be $60.
Yeah.
Plus all the DLC. That's just
Yeah,
like-
when you can get Counter-Strike, which you can play for literally thousands of hours and have a completely different experience in every match, and it's $15, kind of hard to recommend Evolve.
yeah. It's like that's. I feel like let's just table that kind of discussion for another day. But like,
My recommendation for now: wait a year until you buy any games that are coming out.
Yeah. Well, and don't buy a bunch of multiplayer games. Buy one multiplayer game and stick with it and get really good at it, because you'll have more fun doing that than you will playing 17 different multiplayer games and sucking at all of them.
yeah. Look at us being good only SP people.
Yeah.
Play single player games, people.
And
Let's
Counter-Strike, also
and
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike. Just Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like it can evolve as like definitely like a party game. Like like unless you're playing with like a group of people, it's just gonna be kind of meh. But if you're playing with like friends, like a lot of friends every time, you can probably have fun like every time.
Have I said on here before that I think that's the worst excuse ever?
No, but I mean, I can hear you saying that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think
Which
like
I can
it's-
understand that.
It's fun with friends is like the worst qualifier for anything ever, because you know what else is fun with friends? Pretty
Everything.
much
Everything
everything
else.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess games can be made to cater to that, though. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
games don't have to be fun by yourself. I mean, they should, regardless.
That's true, but just when I hear someone say, "Oh, it's not fun normally, but when you play it with friends, it's fun," it just feels lazy
Yeah.
to me.
Well, I mean, it's just everyone's different tastes.
Yeah.
There's some people that only play games with their friends.
Yeah.
So I bet that'd fit that well. But I mean, whenever one of us plays Evolve, we'll talk about it more to have more personal accountances. Other than that, a few other releases. Not a lot of big releases. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3DS remaster had it released on the same day that the new 3DS XL came out. Still, I'm so shocked. Like, Nintendo's so good at naming their consoles and platforms and stuff. Like, it's just I could have never come up with that. But I still got the original 3DS.
Apparently they can't have a normal new 3DS here, because they think Americans are so stupid that they won't be able to tell the difference between the normal new 3DS and the XL new 3DS. I guess they think just all the fat went straight to our brains. I don't know anymore.
There's a new stick. There's a C-stick.
Oh,
Hey.
boy.
You can
And
put
it's bigger.
amiibos on them.
You can put amiibos
Oh, I can buy
Amiibos are
overpriced-
being incorporated into the new 3DS.
Do they work in the Smash?
I think.
Smash?
Oh, I don't know about Smash. I
Don't
think so.
think
What
so.
did I see? I saw the game. Hold on.
If they're working in Smash, like, I'm about to be broke.
I bought an amiibo and I was incredibly disappointed. I never bought another one. That's the end of
What?
that story. I don't know why
That's
I
like-
telling it.
Like, I've been wanting amiibos, but like I haven't gotten them because I don't have a Wii U. But I've
Yeah.
been wanting them just so I can like basically throw them all in Smash and just see who's the best out of all my amiibos. I just want to
Yeah.
get amiibos. I want to be an amiibo trainer.
I
That's
would.
what they
I'm the
want you to
one that goes big or goes home with collecting things, and I don't have enough money to collect amiibos.
Especially when they're
See,
so limited, apparently, when they're so
like,
hard to get.
Every time
Yeah.
I decide I want to collect something, I collect it for like a month, and then I'm like, oh, this is boring now. So I've just
Yeah.
learned to not
Yeah,
waste
So
my
now you
have,
money
like-
anymore.
For me, like I get like a bunch of stuff at the same time. It's like, oh, cool, I can collect these now, and I never do.
Yeah. What is this Marvel Heroes thing I'm looking at on Steam right now?
Is that I think that's the MMO.
No, it looks like
What?
Diablo with Marvel characters.
They're making an MMO.
Is it
Yeah,
like
it's
Heroes?
it's an MMO. So it's like an
I
MMO
played it.
Diablo with Is it? Is
Yeah,
it good?
it's like not really, because like
Okay, then.
each
never mind.
like superhero has their own, like, they only have like 4 powers or whatever.
Oh, that sucks.
It's like not like you can't make your own. You play as superheroes, and then they have their own level up trees, and
Mhm.
I don't know. It's all right. Try it out. I didn't like it. I like the
I-
Marvel.
I think
mobile
I'll
games.
pass on that one. I don't like free to play games. I've downloaded like maybe 2 free to play games. I don't know why. It's like I really don't know.
There's not a good selection on Steam. Like, the best free to play would probably be like Rift, but Rift is a big MMO.
Well, I don't know what it is, because even if it's something that interests me, I'll be like, oh, that looks cool, and click on it, and it says
I
free to
played-
play, and I'm like, all right, never mind.
I played Spiral Knights for like the longest time.
I heard
Spiral
that was
Knights. It's good, but it's like really like
What
it's
is
like
this
really
strange-
bare bones MMO.
Okay, so I'm just going through the new releases on Steam right now because it's fun, and we're talking about games. I have found a game. It's called Agares Generations of War 2.
Okay.
And I'm
Sequel.
just scrolling through the screenshots, and it looks like a standard like tactical RPG. And then there's a screenshot of a woman in a towel, apparently after she's taken a shower or bath or something, and a bunch of percentage markings over her body parts, and I'm so confused.
That does sound very confusing.
I don't understand. It just came out of
Apparently-
nowhere too.
Amiibos are supported for the new 3DS, and it does involve Super Smash Bros.
Ah! Well, I gotta get a new 3DS, guys.
So good luck with that.
I might as well just
I'm
get a Wii U. Like, I'm not gonna.
Like, I'm getting a Wii U. That's the thing. Like,
yeah, if I'm
the
if I'm
boyfriend and
gonna
I
choose
are
Wii,
like, we're getting, like, I've had to stop him 3 times now from getting one, like, right now, because we're kind of waiting for them to be, like, for
They're
them to
still
have
really
a legend.
expensive.
Yeah, they are. But
They're
we're
like
waiting for, like, the
Xbox
Legend
One
of Zelda
price.
one.
Guys, hold up. All right.
I'm holding up.
Are you both near a computer that has access to Steam?
No.
Shit.
Yes,
Yeah,
but what does
I-
this have to do?
What do you want? Us to
Oh,
do?
absolutely nothing.
This is an audio
called-
podcast.
It's
It's
called
great for the
Crazy
listeners.
Chicken Invasion.
Crazy Chicken. Is
And
it free?
I-
Let's play it.
I don't know. It's $3.99.
Coming to the channel. Oh,
I
maybe we
don't
get
know
Meat
what
Pie
to make
Horse.
of this.
Let's do it. Let's see. Oh my god! What is this?
Can we get a first?
Right?
We'll get a first impressions up and everything.
I'm gonna do it.
Video review.
Oh, what even? I need to do this more often.
It's got a
Most anticipated.
3.5 out of 5.
Most
What?
anticipated 2015.
There are no public reviews for this product. I wonder why.
What?
That's strange.
Nobody even heard of it.
I don't care. I'm playing it. Anyway,
Well, everybody's gonna play it now because they're gonna watch our podcast and go check it out.
Oh, totally.
we just gave it a lot of publicity.
These devs are gonna be like, who's playing our game right now? This game? What?
We just did that one night when we were drunk. What's going on?
Yeah. I need to go through the Steam new releases more often because, boy,
Steam's
this,
got everything. I keep saying, like, Steam's like the best. It's
this
got everything you can ever
quality
need.
control is non-existent. I love it.
If you want anything you want,
It's good,
on-
yeah.
is
And they
on
have this
Steam.
the Steam console thing going
Steam
on now.
Machine.
Steam Machine. That's just all
Yeah.
we're gonna need. That's it. The consoles are done.
You're set
Just-
for life.
Yeah.
Those consoles, they'll upgrade themselves. New hardware.
That'd be cool. You are not a banana for $2. I'm gonna take a look at this because I'm not a banana, so I may be this target market.
This speaks to me on a deep and emotional level.
I can connect with this game.
Oh, that's a child getting the shit beat out of him. Wow, what is this? You are not a banana is set in every. What the? I can't even say that sentence on a straight line. Okay. It's set in everyday life and has a sprinkle of imagination and humor. The music, sound effects, visuals, and gameplay seek to evoke nostalgia for the 80s and 90s. The story...
I.e., they are lazy.
I don't know. I'm done. I can't read anymore. I lost interest.
Immediately give up.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, you can find anything on Steam. Anything.
And there's a
want it?
man named Lord Banana who has reviewed this product. He does not recommend it on the basis that he is in fact a banana. So that's a thing.
I'll take that. That sounds like a
It's a legitimate review there. Speaking of reviews, man, look at that segue. Anyway, speaking of reviews, The Order 1886 released on the 20th last Friday, and everybody hates it apparently. The Order 1886 made some waves in the industry because it was claimed to be, or there's leaks and whatever, and a lot of people saw that or assumed or whatever that it's only like 5 hours long. Like it's a single player. There's no multiplayer. It's very cinematic. Apparently, there's a lot of cutscenes. The gameplay isn't too unique. So a lot of people heard this all before the game came out, and they just kept pooping on this game. Like everybody was just like, "No, this
literal
is gonna be crap."
excrement. Literal excrement was involved.
Literally, the game was under a pile of excrement. But and then there was all the people who were trying to defend the game, and that was just starting with console wars and stuff like that. So this game, its reputation isn't very good right now. But it did release Friday, and when it released, or the day before, whenever the embargo lifted, all the reviews came out, and literally all the biggest reviews, or all the biggest sites, Kotaku, Polygon, IGN, they gave it crap for scores. Generally, average. And like, it's so people, it's still getting pooped on like that. So, but we played it. Well, I didn't play it. Our site owner Nick and reviewer James, they were talking about it, and I see them discussing, and it doesn't seem that bad. Like, it just seems like a lot of people are comparing it to Rise, Son of Rome, which was a launch title for the Xbox One, if we remember correctly. That game was basically just hack and slash. Like it's a pretty game. Seemingly a game demo for the Xbox One, and like this game is very cinematic. Like Ready at Dawn wanted The Order basically to be like a movie, and it seems like they achieved that. And like if you're into that, then here you go. You're gonna love this game. It's got good looking graphics. I'm sure the gameplay's. I mean, even if the gameplay is not unique, I'm sure it works fine. If there are any bugs or anything, I don't know. The story, we have a first 15 minute playthrough. If you want to check it out, I'll link in the description. And I was watching that. James put that up, and I watched it, and it seems like totally something I'd be interested in. It's very what is it? Environmental, I guess. not environmental. Like it's very moody. Like
Atmospheric?
everything atmospheric. Yeah, everything really like sets the tone, and it seems like something I'd like, even if it's not like, even if it is short and everything.
Who's that I Don't Care song by? I can't remember her name.
Hang on, I know it. I bought it actually. I went to RTX with my friends. That was our alarm to wake up. We're not good at waking up, so we had to buy a really obnoxious song to wake us up. Harlem Shake was another alarm song.
So you do have this.
What? I Don't Care?
This song, yes.
Yeah, it's by Icona Pop.
Okay,
I don't
can
know
we
how to
just
pronounce that.
play that from start to finish?
Absolutely.
And
it's
then...
already playing right now. The whole podcast has Lonely playing now.
No, but like I knew as soon as this game was announced that it wasn't. It's not like I wasn't hating on it. It's just not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't.
I mean, that's fine if it's
And I
something.
think that's what it is. It's like people take it's not my thing and they put it into a whole new level. It's not
Yeah,
my
right.
thing, so it shouldn't be released.
Yeah,
Right.
so it shouldn't even exist.
You can
Yeah.
you can instead do what I do and just become a cold, emotionless shell of a man. It'll work a
Exactly.
lot better.
Who
in the
hates
long
all the
run.
good video games?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll work out better for you in the long run.
But it just seems like there's a big overreaction to this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if the game is short, so what? Friggin', you can say, the Call of Duty campaigns, they're pretty short.
Portal
Look, the-
was short, for
Portal.
Christ's sake, and
Portal.
it's like the best game in the world. I mean,
You know,
like-
the thing is, I don't have a problem with the length of the game. I have a problem with the developers saying it's one length, and then it actually being another.
They said it was like, what, around 12
They said it was 10 to
hours or
12
something?
hours long, and it's supposedly like 4 or 5.
holy
yeah.
cow!
Granted, people can play on lower difficulties
Yeah.
and like speed run, but even then, that's a big gap from
Yeah.
what
I
they
have a
said.
problem
12,
with
yeah.
that. I don't if they released a 4-hour long game and we're like, yeah, it's 4 hours long. I don't care. I'm not going to pay for $60 for 4 hours of entertainment. But if someone else wants to, that's their business. I don't care. But when they say it's one length and then it turns out to be another, that I have an issue with.
And like, game length aside, right now, I think they were probably just being generous to market it that way. Obviously,
Yeah.
and all of this really kicked off. Like the shit hit the fan. Like when apparently someone got a hold of the game, and they posted a full walkthrough on their channel. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't know it, but and then the complete series when he played it first from beginning to end, ended up being around 4 or 5 hours. When everybody lost their minds now that there's proof now that this game is way too short, and so everybody lost it.
I'm pretty
And,
sure we broke the story on it being that length first, by the way.
We did. We
Yeah.
had it set as a rumor, even before that walkthrough would hit the YouTube. And it got. We did have that, so we'll link that too if you want to take a read
Oh
of that.
yeah, and I don't care what people think of me. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, hey, DualShockers, Gabriel, fuck you. You're an asshole. I don't like
Shots
you.
fired.
Come at me. Put my Twitter in the description.
Yeah, we some of us at OnlySP have some opinions about some of the other sites that we probably shouldn't talk about. But there's a lot of like unsavory practices anyway in this
I could talk
industry.
about my personal beliefs though.
We'll save it for another video. So with everything revolving the order, people just losing their minds, and generally the consensus was it's really short, so it's not going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we should talk about for a little bit. 5 hours long for a $60 price. That's what it comes down to me. If I'm paying, a lot of people look at it this way. They're paying $60, so they should be able to play this game for a while, right? They shouldn't be able to beat it in one day.
Right.
I can agree, mostly because $60 price tag, on like all big releases, whether the game's going to be long or not, I think is a bit unfair. Like, I wouldn't pay 60. Like, even if the order was super good. Like, the story was super immersive, and the gameplay is alright. There's no bugs. Even if it was a really good game, I wouldn't pay $60 for it. And if it was like 4 or 5 hours long, I wouldn't pay $60 for it, because I think that's a lot of money for
something you're probably only going to
invested.
do once.
Right, and like I said,
Exactly.
you can go on Steam and get a game that's 10 years old that's better than the order
that you can play
5
for
times
like
longer for $10.
months on end. Yeah. And so that's the price. The general price of video games is another discussion anyway. But it's so I think it's pretty unfair to label most games $60 in the like retail anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty unfair also to say a game that's not even released, to say the game is bad if you know how long it is. Like, if the order before release, the order was proven to be 5 hours long, minimum, like proven to be 5 hours long, for a $60 price. No, we know nothing else about it. We don't know anything else about it. People are like, nope, not worth, gone. And like, people people forget. I made a tweet about it the other day once the review scores came out for the game. Because everybody was on the bandwagon. This game is crap because it's so long. I mean, it's so short. There's nothing unique about it. And it's like, the game's not even out yet, people. Like, people tend to forget that, like, scores and whether or not something is good is all subjective. It's all opinion based.
Exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
there's no other way to tell whether it's good or not, whether you experience it firsthand and you make your own goddamn decision.
Yeah.
And so, like, this game's just got a way much more crap than it needed to be. Like,
Yeah,
it's just,
well,
like,
and the
silly.
The other thing is, like, I knew from the beginning, like, I'm a person who favors gameplay over story, and when they announced that they were,
Same.
like, making it a letterbox resolution to make it look more like a movie, I was like, I'm out. This game isn't for me, so I just shut it out of my mind. You have a limited amount of fucks to give in your lifetime. Don't waste them on video games.
It's like, you don't, like, if it doesn't bother you, like,
Like,
if you don't like it and move on. You
Right,
know?
exactly. That's
it's
what
like
I do.
I'm the exact opposite of you two. I can do gameplay. I love the fact when gameplay is really good, but I am a story person. Story comes first. It's content over context. And so if that is a 5 hour long game, but the story and how it interacts with you, like not so much being a movie, because if I wanted to see a movie, I'd watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was a submersive game that brought me into the story as a video game, yeah, I would totally play 5 hours worth of that game. Not for $60, but price
Yeah.
aside, we're not talking
Right,
about
I
that.
know, but why don't you just go buy a copy of Silent Hill 2?
Well, I love Silent Hill 2.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like what you just said, you don't mind a shorter game as long as you're completely immersed in it.
Exactly, yeah.
Go buy
And-
Silent Hill 2 for $10 instead of the order for $60.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, a price aside, we're not talking price.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking this game has gotten shit because it's only 5 hours long.
Right.
Now, the fact that they said it was like 12 hours, I would be upset because that's straight up lying. Like,
Right.
I'm surprised someone hasn't sued yet because of that. That's false advertisement. However, had they not released the game length, and I bought this game, $10, $6, whatever, it's my choice to buy it, and it was 5 hours, but it was the best story 5 hours could give me.
Right, like, good to
So
go.
what? So what?
Even if there's no replay value, if it's just like
Exactly.
a one-time thing. Like, I'm sort of in the middle of you guys. Like, in my order of what makes a good game, gameplay is definitely on the top. Like, if it could have good gameplay and nothing else, and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But story is definitely second. So that's why I'm huge into BioWare, because they make awesome stories and the gameplay works like great with it. And so I'm sorry, I'd say I'm pretty in the middle. So that's why I definitely like the order. I definitely like it because the gameplay, it just seems like generic third-person shooter. That's still fun, that it works. Basically like Gears of War type gameplay. And then, like, if the story's good enough, then yeah, I'm fine. Like, even if, like, there's so many other factors that count into this. Like, there could be huge replay value. There could be huge, like, different story paths. Who knows? Like, no one knows. Like,
Well-
it's just like it's just crazy. Like, it's really silly that this game blew up into what it was.
Something
I'm sure
so
it's
negative.
doing great for sales regardless.
Yeah.
People are going to buy it anyway. But
And another thing people always ignore is intention, like the developer's intention. Like, you have to factor that in, because the most experienced game developers know how to make a good game. And so, even if it's something you don't necessarily like, I'm sure when the Order developers sat down and wrote out their design document, they said, we want to make a short, focused, narrative-driven game. And that was their intention all along. So you have to take that, like, it. Another thing that kind of has to do with it, I did a review for Psychonauts on my personal channel this morning, actually. And one of the things I kind of talked about is people always talk about, like, how saying collectathon is a dirty word, like it's a bad thing. And it's not, as long as the game was designed to be a collectathon and built around that by experienced developers, then there's nothing wrong with it. So you got to take intention into account as well, because not everything's going to be made for you.
right, like, it's just silly that people, like, Ready at Dawn, clearly, they stated, like, long before, like, this is going to be a cinematic experience of the Order. And so, you know, people just took it way out of proportion.
Right. And, like, while The Order is not a game that I care about at all, and not a game that I would enjoy, I can tell that it was made by a skilled team. I mean, you can look at it and tell that it was put together by competent people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it doesn't look like a bad game.
Right. It's not Sonic Boom.
I think a lot of the problem also is people, they won't take the blame when they don't do the research.
Yeah.
It's like, I have absolutely no idea what the Order is about. I'm not going to lie. I've seen it. Like, I've seen little clips of it. I've seen people talk about it. I know David did a lengthy discussion about it on our site. I still have no idea what it is. That being said, I'm not going to go out and buy it or not buy it because of what other people are saying. If I was interested, I would look into it. If it says it is a narrative, cinematic-based game, I would take their word for it over someone who's only played it, not created it.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, and
but
that's
people
the...
refuse. They refuse to look at it. They refuse to look into a game before they buy it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, people, at the risk of committing career suicide, people take reviews far, far too seriously.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, this whole thing really spills out into the greater issue.
Yeah.
Is that the games media, like, people take the games media like religiously, like,
Which is
they
so
see
silly.
they see a review, they see a number, it's like, oh, that's it, that made my mind up.
Right, and that's why I review older games, mostly, because I'm not reviewing games to be like, yes, this is worth your $60. I'm reviewing games to be like, hey, here's a cool game that you might not have heard of. Listen to me talk about it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, see, that's why I always thought reviews should be like, the reviews shouldn't.
Right.
They shouldn't say whether you or not you should buy the game. They should just detail that person's experience with the game, so that you can formulate your own opinion on it from their experience.
Here's the thing. If you just look at a game's review score and see, oh, it's high, and you go out and buy it, that's a terrible way to find good games. You need to know what genres you like, what mechanics you like. Then, that's what reviews are for. It's like, say I like JRPGs, and I like JRPGs with permadeath or something, and I hear that there's this new JRPG with permadeath in it. Okay, so from there, if I go and look at a review and it has a good review score, then that's helped me make my decision. But I'm not just looking at random games and being like, oh, they have good review scores, I'm gonna buy it.
And that's what makes it so hard for me as a reviewer. It's I can put it out for you. Okay, this is the facts. You know, I'm taking my personal beliefs out of this and giving you the facts about this game. Okay, now here's my issue with the game. This is where I had the trouble because I am not the one that, you know, generally likes this kind of game.
Yeah,
and
it's not like
I have to put it into a number, and I'm like, but I didn't like the game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
factually, it's a decent. Like, where's the line for
See,
that?
I always
There's
try
two-
and be completely subjective in my reviews, because reviews are a subjective thing. If anyone tells you that they're not worth taking seriously.
Right.
So, like, if I don't like a game, I give it a bad score. Does that mean it's a bad game? No. And I've said that before in other reviews and stuff. Like, what was it? I don't even know. But, like, if I give it a low score and it's because I don't like it, I'll say that. If I give it a low score and it's because it's technically fractured and non-functioning and glitchy and poorly designed, I'll say that.
Right.
So, I mean, reviews are always going to be subjective, and there's nothing you can do to change that. So you just have to know that going into it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get that.
But it's like a lot of reviewers also don't write that out either.
Yeah, it's more like what the problem with reviews is that when the reviews come out, the reviews are like, okay, here's what's wrong with the game, instead of, okay, here's what I didn't like about the game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's too
I'm
much.
very personalized in my reviews, which is probably bad. I don't know. But
I think that's how it should be, cause like that.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a line, like there's two different sides of this. You should be as like transparent, as personal as you can, so that people can realize that, oh, this is their experience, not how the game actually is. Like, it's not like everybody's experience.
Yeah, well, and plus that makes a review more interesting too. If you've got a personality and you talk about what you liked and stuff. I mean, all the reviewers I enjoy watching, they have a personality. Like, I don't like watching like IGN or GameSpot reviews because it's just some guy rattling off a written article. Right. It's boring to me. I like people who have a personality, people who I can relate to, things like that. So.
Yeah, but I think that's the greater problem in the industry right now is that a lot of games sort of get blown out of proportion because of the media and just the reception of the consumer.
Yeah.
And that's definitely this case, I think, in The Order. Like, The Order, like, if no one heard about the length of the game, like, if no one made a big deal of it, then, like, it wouldn't have the reputation it has right now. Like,
right.
No one would... People would be buying it and enjoying it, and it's like, oh, it's kind of short, but, it's whatever. But now it has this rep as a super short, super bad game. Because it's just silly. It's just like, come on.
And people take numbers too seriously too. Let me tell you something, guys. The 1 to 10 numbers, completely arbitrary. I'm not sitting here at my desk doing calculations to try and figure out what score to give a game. I'm like, it was all right. I'll give it a 7. Stop taking it so seriously. I don't take it seriously. Why do you take it seriously?
People forget, like, games. You just play a game, have some fun,
Also,
come on.
We're the people who review your games and such. We're all human beings. We're not infallible. We make mistakes. We do stupid things. So sometimes you gotta cut us some slack too. I mean, everybody just needs to chill out about reviews.
Yes, people just need to chill out about everything.
Everything.
Just chill. Just 420 blaze it.
Yes, exactly.
The one concern I do have with short games, and like I said before, if it's a good story and I'm playing the game, it's fine, whatever. It could be 20 minutes long, I don't care. If like 60% of that is cinematic and I'm not doing anything but watching it, I do have a problem with that. And I don't know exactly where The Order lies with that. I'm hearing both that it was overly cinematic and it was all cinematic. But I've never played, so I don't know. That being said, if it's 5 hours long and like 3.5 of it are cinematics, I could see where the problem is.
Yeah, well, and if you look at something like Gone Home, I bought Gone Home,
so good,
and it was like an hour long, and I was really satisfied with it for a few reasons. A, it's $15. I got it for like $5, I think. I got it on sale, so I didn't pay that much for it. B, I knew it was like an hour long going into it, and C, it was just a good experience overall, so I didn't care about the length. What they delivered to me in that hour was as valuable to me as a mediocre game that lasts 10 hours. So it was worth it. I mean, you don't see this stuff with movies either. Like, if a movie comes out and it's an hour and a half long, nobody's like, oh, it's not 3 hours long, it's shit.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
You never see that. You don't see that with books. If a book comes out that's like sub 300 pages, no one gives a shit if it's good. Like, you don't see this with any other medium except video games. And
Which
I find
is so
that kind
weird.
of strange.
It's just like... So go ahead.
I think the general thing with The Order, going back to what you were saying, Sean, about the cinematics, I think there is a lot of cinematics Whether or not they take up the majority of the time or not, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it also seems like, from what I've seen, I haven't played it, so I can't say to that. But what I've seen is that there are QuickTime events and other gameplay
So it's
mechanics
still interactive.
sprinkled into cinematics and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's still a bit more interactive than like a lot of people might assume.
Just straight up watching.
Yeah, and just straight up watching. And yeah, going to what you said, Reagan, too many people, like when they make this argument, whether it's quality of game dependent on length, people make the argument too much that they compare it to like movies and stuff. Like if you're going to pay, however much money to see a movie in theaters, $10, $12 to see a movie in theaters, you're paying basically to see it early.
Yeah.
In the movie industry.
Yeah, and the other thing is you don't ever see, I have never in my entire life ever seen someone stand at the ticket board and go, which one's the longest? I have never in my life seen that happen. It's just a weird exclusivity to video games, and I'm not sure what triggered that.
It's like with The Guilt in the Shadow. When I played it, it's maybe took 2 hours to play the whole game, and there were like maybe 3 cinematics. All of it was collectively maybe 5 minutes long. Mm-hmm. So you are doing the majority of the work, and that story. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but that story itself still haunts me to this day. That ending of that game still bothers me in a good way. Like, so if you can take a game that's 2 hours long and it stick with you, and I mean, how many throwbacks and jokes do we make about Portal and Portal 2?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like some of the shortest games I've ever played has been some of my favorites.
Gone Home did really well too. Going back to Gone Home.
And I've never played Gone Home.
Gone Home, like, it treats it like a horror game, and so like you're gonna go into it playing it like you're scared as shit. Like you're like, whoa, like.
I remember actually, I got my friend to buy that game knowing nothing about it. I was like, go into it knowing nothing because it's more fun that way. And he started playing it and like the lightning went off. He was like, what is this game, man? And then he got further. He was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I have heard about it. I have not.
When I was going, I streamed it on my personal channel like sometime last year with just like my friends watching. So one big stream and everything, and they were watching it too. And like I'm pretty skittish. I don't really play a lot of horror games. So like going into it, I was like, what? I'm freaking out, man. This is a big house. This is dark. I don't even know. And then it turned out to be how it was. Spoiler free. And it was just leading up to like all of it. It was just like it was completely different than what I thought going in, and so like that did a good job of staying in my memory, just like Portal or like Guilt of Shadow, stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
it's about how you used your time. And going back to like the argument between film, I mean, I know video games and film aren't 100% comparable, but you can draw some parallels. Like when people see a film and talk about the pacing, they're not talking about how long it was. They're talking about how effectively it used its runtime. Right. Like my favorite television show of all time is Black Mirror, and that show doesn't waste a single frame of a single shot. Everything in that show is 100% necessary, and it's brilliantly paced because of that. So when you take a video game, if it's a 3 hour long, 2 hour long, 15-minute long game, as long as everything in that game was necessary and it told whatever it wanted to do, it accomplished what it set out to do, then what are you complaining about?
Yeah, exactly. I think what it comes down to is that there's different types of games out there, and people don't get this. Like they see like Witcher 2, Skyrim. They're pretty long game. Well, Witcher 2's not too long. If they see Skyrim or whatever else that you could spend hundreds of hours in, you're still not done with the game. The game's perfect, and if any other game's not like it, then it's crap. Yeah. And so we have games like that setting this like standard.
Yeah, and it's not a one size fits all thing. Like
no.
With RPGs, if you look at like Planescape Torment, the reason that game's so long is because it's about like unfolding a mystery and building a character. So they have to crescendo it steadily and pace it towards that. So it becomes a longer game. If The Order was like 15 to 20 hours, it'd be boring. It'd be really boring.
It also play a lot differently because like
Yeah.
I think best example would be Evil Within. Evil Within sort of like a more sort of Resident Evil-ish game, and what that is, like, it rotates between like horror elements to like collectible elements to like action gameplay elements, and so the pacing is really off in that game. And so you got to realize like the Order may be really short, but what is in there is like really fun gameplay scenes, really interesting, cinematics. If it was any longer, they'd have to add fluff like scenes where you have to collect stuff, different gameplay elements like that just extend the time and make it overall a less interesting game. So I think the Evil Within suffers a lot from that because the Evil Within does too much. Like there's like an hour of like super horror element, and then you're just like an action, shooting monsters for like another hour, and it does that over and over and over.
Yeah, I wrote a review about the Evil Within, and I kind of talked about that, but once again, to bring it back to film, I guess, there's this principle in film theory that basically says you can shave 15 minutes off of your movie, and it will be a better movie for it. You can find 15 minutes of something and cut it out, and it'll be better. And I think that applies to games, too. If they would have cut, like, 2, maybe 3 hours out of the Evil Within, it would have been way, way better.
I think so, too, yeah. That game was pretty long, way too long for what it was,
right.
I think.
So I think the developers of The Order just knew what to cut and what to keep in. And it was a shorter game, but it's probably... See, and I haven't played it, so I can't say, but I would imagine it's better paced and more entertaining for its length.
And it's just like... It's silly, like, going back, I think it's just silly that this argument's even a thing, like, length compared to quality of a product. Like, it's always going to be subjective, no matter what. That's never going to change, unless the game is, just broken and crap.
Yeah.
It's like people just don't get it. Like, get it, people.
Yeah. I think this can all be summarized by just saying, stop caring so much. Just play what you like what you like, and be done with it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good like life pro tip too.
It is.
For, like, anything in life.
There's a fantastic article.
If it doesn't bother you, then that's fine.
Yeah, there's a fantastic article I read the other week about how people give too much of a fuck, and how everyone can improve their life by giving slightly less of a fuck. It's a really good article, actually.
I had like a slight life epiphany. I'm pretty young, so like having a not to brag, I'm pretty young, but
thanks.
I've had a slight epiphany in that I don't need to care about all this crap. It's too much on my plate anyway. So I mean, I get where the upset comes from, because it all comes down to price. I think that's why the argument exists, is because it is $60, but people are comparing length to the price paid, price they pay for it. Like if they're going to pay so much money and it's not that long of an experience, then they automatically make that assumption. But they don't really correlate whether it's whether that short experience is worth it, whether it's quality or not.
And I kind of get why people are lashing out so hard. It's because this industry in general has become so anti-consumer. They feel like they have to defend themselves and defend their money, and I understand that.
Yeah, I get that too. That's just the trends.
But then don't buy the game.
Right.
Like, just wait. If you don't feel like 5 hours is worth $60, wait 6 months, a year, whatever. It'll drop
and everyone
down.
Stop buying DLC, for fuck's sake. Just quit it. Only buy it if it's good.
There was a post on, I don't know why, I don't usually go to the gaming subreddit, but Our Gaming, I was on there for some reason, and I was looking through like older posts on Our Gaming, and there's a post from like 3 years ago from a developer, anonymous developer, and he was talking about why DRM and DLC and stuff like that is a thing, and basically because it's good for business. And you know, when it comes down to this kind of industry, the consumer literally has all the power. Like, this crap that nobody likes is happening because people are doing it. Like, people are buying the DLC and stuff.
Yeah,
So it's just getting worse.
Yeah, and I also think that game developers and mostly publishers have become slimy about that stuff, especially DRM. When a publisher says DRM is good for business, they're talking out of their ass. It is not good for business. I guarantee you it's not.
Well, it's
it's
also
terrible.
the quality of a game. And like, this is what pisses me off more than anything, is them releasing a game, calling it finished, and there's so much wrong with it. But we're letting that happen. We're pushing them, and then we're buying it. We're prepaying for it. We're getting like the upscale stuff, which is crap and breaks and is not worth it. And then we're like, why did you do this? Oh, by the way, we want the next one next month.
Yeah, it's become super, super anti-consumer. And I can say back on the DRM thing, I can say for a fact that DRM does not help your sales. Because I would have gladly bought Far Cry 4, but I can't stand Uplay. So I just pirated it because I didn't want to deal with Uplay. I would have given them $60 for that.
Well,
see, that's you just proved a point in that DRM only exists because people pirate it. You know, that's why it's around, because people are pirating games, and the way to stop DRM, essentially, in my opinion, is to just stop pirating the games. If you're
I fully agree. If you are against what they are doing, be fully against it.
Like, and if you're against, you know, all these tactics and stuff, just boycott. And that was going back to the Reddit post I saw from this anonymous developer. He said the same thing. If you're upset about it, then, because this is that time that the Reddit gaming Reddit subreddit was like in a big boycott for something, and if you're in, and he was saying this poster, he was saying, you know, if you don't like this, you know, continue your boycott, because that's the only way things are going to change. But it's I mean, we'll see.
I mean, I forgot what I was going to say, but I was going to disagree with you, so we can just skip ahead.
I'll just
and we could just pretend I disagree with you.
That's fine. Reagan disagrees.
I really don't remember what I was going to say.
But yeah, like, I think the general message is that if you don't like something, don't participate in it.
Yeah, exactly. Play good games. Stop focusing on the negative.
Formulate your own options.
Go buy Kingsfield.
Gosh.
Don't rely on strangers' opinions.
Play Ultima 7.
Play Ultima 7.
Yeah.
Play Witcher 2. It's good.
Play everybody listening to this. Go buy a copy of God Hand. Just do it.
Do it. Reagan will find you.
I will. I will find you and give you a copy of God Hand.
I've been soft resetting this stupid game since we've started this, and I have not gotten my pink medkit.
Oh, fun.
I'm really upset.
I think Justin was gone for that. I don't think he knows what you're talking about.
I had an accident. But it's okay.
She's trying
someone out there will know.
Yeah, she's trying.
And they will be like, "Sean, I feel your pain."
Shiny.
Like, thank you.
I don't even know how Pokemon works. I don't.
I had stopped playing Pokemon, unfortunately. I have X. I have X. I just haven't beaten it. I'm like on the second gym.
I had X, and then I lost it.
Like, I really want the new ones. I really want the new ones.
You guys are lame.
Ruby and Sapphire, because that was my generation. That was my favorite, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm playing Sapphire right now. So you should do it.
Well,
do it.
I'll get my new 3DS and play it on that. But I think that about wraps it for our podcast for today. Wish OSP a happy birthday. Get some cake, mayonnaise cake, if you want. If you're into that, I guess.
Buy a copy of God Hand.
Buy a copy of God Hand. Stop giving a fuck. Like, just chill.
There you go.
Just chill out. Just, I think that 420 blaze it.
I think you just summarized our entire podcast in about 2 seconds.
Great. Let's just do that from now on. Let's just quick statements. Done. Gone.
That's why Twitter's a great place to get into an argument. Because it's just, you have to be absolute. There's no.
Yeah.
I like to argue too much to be like a big Twitter person. I don't know.
I grew up in a family of arguers. So
Yeah,
it's,
me
like,
too.
pretty tough. Like,
And
we
I'm
just argue about
I'm a
whatever.
huge opinionated person.
It's like, no, you're wrong. It's like I really don't know anything about the topic, so but you're wrong anyway.
Whoa! I just almost exploded my laptop. We're cool though.
Nice. But anyway, I'm Justin Wessinger. With me, Shauna Beeston and Reagan Cox. And we'll see you next week.